Hi viewers, welcome to Bhagavad Gita quotes once again. In acts of sacrifice, that by which the offering is made is Brahman, as is the offering itself. As is the offering itself. Sacrifice is offered by one who is himself Brahman into the fire of Brahman, one who is absorbed thus in thoughts of Brahman in sacrificial action attains Brahman. Some sacrifice through acts of charity, others sacrifice through austerities, and other through yoga practice, while ascetics of severe oaths do so through scriptural study and knowledge. Others practice breath control. They offer inhalation into exhalation and exhalation into inhalation, thereby restraining both. Still others restrict their intake of food and restrain their breath, sacrificing their vital force. All these persons know well the purpose of sacrifice and are purified from evil through its performance. They enjoy the nectar of sacrificial remnants and attain eternal Brahman. O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice no one can live happily even in this world. What then of the other? O subduer of the enmity of the various sacrifices, that of wisdom is far superior to the sacrifice of material possessions, for whatever may be accomplished by action is realized in wisdom. Acquire that wisdom through humble resignation, relevant inquiry, and rendering service to the wise who have realized the truth. They, in turn, will impart wisdom unto you. As a blazing fire burns wood to ashes, Arjuna, so does the fire of transcendent knowledge reduce all karmic reactions to ashes. One who has faith and devotes himself with controlled senses to attaining this wisdom is successful in his effort. Having wisdom and knowledge, he quickly attains the supreme peace. Those who are ignorant, faithless, or doubting are lost. There is neither happiness nor success in this world or the next for the doubting soul. Therefore, having cut away with the sword of knowledge your doubt arising from ignorance that lurks in your heart, take refuge in your yoga and stand for battle, O descendant of Bharata. A person who is free from both hatred and desires is always renounced. Being indifferent to dualities, O mighty armed, he is easily freed from bondage and attains liberation. A person who is steadfast in yoga and knows things as they are should think. I am not doing anything even while I am seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, walking, sleeping, breathing, taking, evacuating, accepting things, and blinking my eyes. Rather, it is the senses alone that are acting in relation to the sense objects. One who works without attachment, ascribing his actions to Brahman, is not tainted by evil, just as a lotus leaf is untouched by water. The omniscient Godhead does not accept responsibility for anyone's good or evil deeds. Beings are deluded because their knowledge is covered by ignorance. Those whose intelligence is absorbed in God, whose minds are fixed on God, whose faith is in God, who are devoted to God, and whose impiety has been thus cast off through knowledge, go to that place where one again take birth. Shuttering out external sense objects and fixing the eyesight between the two eyebrows, equalizing the incoming and outgoing breaths that move through the nostrils, restraining the sense, mind, and intelligence, dedicating oneself to liberation, he from whom desire, fear, and anger have departed is forever liberated. A person who has conquered the mind and is thus peaceful is poised in realization of the Supreme Soul. Heat and cold, pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor are all the same to him. One who is self-satisfied by dint of scriptural knowledge and realization and is steadfast and sense-controlled sees a piece of earth, a stone, and gold equally. One so fixed is said to be a yogi. The superlative yogi is one who looks equally on a close friend, an associate, and an enemy, and who is thus equal in his dealings with everyone, be they saints or sinners. The yogi should always concentrate his mind on the self, remaining alone in a secluded place with mind and body controlled, free from desire and devoid of possessions, making his mind one-pointed and controlling all the activities of his senses. He should sit on that seat and engage in yoga for the sake of self-purification. Holding his body, head, and neck erect, he should remain motionless and steady, concentrating his vision on the tip of his nose without letting it stray here and there. Arjuna said, "O Krishna, what destination befalls one who, although possessed of faith, is nevertheless uncontrolled? What happens to one whose mind has fallen away from yoga practice without having achieved perfection? O mighty armed, is he not lost in his pursuit of transcendence like a raven could with no solid footing to either world? He who has fallen from the path of yoga attains heaven and dwells there for what seems an eternity. Then he is born again in a pious or aristocratic family, or he may be born directly into a family of wise transcendentalists. Rare is such a birth in this world. He who, imbued with devotion and the power of yoga at the time of death, perfectly places the life hairs between the eyebrows while constantly meditating on God as the all-knowing seer, the ancient one, the ruler who is smaller than the atom and yet the support of all, of inconceivable form and effulgent like the sun beyond the darkness, attains the divine supreme person. A person who is situated in yogic concentration by controlling all the gates of the body, confining the mind within the heart and fixing the vital force at the top of the head and then utters Om, the single syllable form of Brahman, and remembers me as he quits the body, attains the supreme goal. Thank you, listeners.